Greetings and welcome crime enthusiasts. In this video we hear how an exhibit bag that was containing the alleged murder weapon was not sealed. State witness Captain Bonginkosi Mtshali, who was an exhibit storeroom manager at Cleveland Police Station, gave evidence at the North Gauteng High Court in Pretoria. Let's get into it without any delay.
Yes, Mr. Mnisi.
Good morning, Mr. Mtshali. Thank you. Let me also say that from the solitude of my conscience, I'm also indebted to the information that you gave yesterday. It was really enlightening.
I'm grateful as well.
Thank you. In your testimony, you emphatically indicated that you would not accept an exhibit that is put in an exhibit bag, the seal of which is tampered with or which is not properly closed.
Izolo usho kanjalo ukuthi wena ngeke uamukele ingxenye yobufakazi kungukuthi ke evidence bag yakhona isil yakhona ayivalekanga kahle okanye ibonakala ngazuthi khona umuntu beloko temperana nayo uthi awuthathi lobo bufakazi.
Impela kunjalo mangizilanda nje charge office kukhona lobo buxikizanyana cha angithathi.
Yes, it is indeed so. If I go and fetch them from the charge office and I find that there is that tampering that had taken place there, I am not going to take that back.
Why wouldn't you do that? What are your fears?
Ngesipiliyoni sami ke siko lokuthi ngizogcina ngizoza la ngizochaza ukuthi hayi le bag ivuliwe.
Now, based on my experience, I could foresee that I would end up coming into the court to come and explain as to why is this evidence bag not sealed or why is it open. That would mean that there had been some tampering from my side as well that could have contributed to that particular exhibit.
So kumele ilungiswe ngoba noma ukukhumbula masingakhumbuzana nje ukuthi ifikela eCSC izofika isilwe eCLC.
We should remember that when it gets to the CSC, it gets to be sealed, or it has to be sealed when it gets to CSC.
Isazohamba ye ballistic ngeke baze bayithathe ballistic mabangathola nabo ukuthi bag is not sealed correctly.
Now that particular bag or evidence bag still needs to go to the ballistics section or office. And they also are not going to receive it if they realize that that seal bag has been tampered with.
Yeah,
let me just put it straight. They are not taking it.
So
myself as well, I wouldn't want to carry the burden of such an evidence bag that has been tampered with. It must be fixed before it gets to me as well.
Thank you, sir. Now, just to sum up what you have said with regard to the importance of a seal, am I then would be correct if I were to say the purpose of a seal is to ensure that evidence has not been contaminated or altered in transport and or in storage?
Esona sizathu ke injongo yesil ukwenza isiqiniseko ke sokuthi le ngxenye yobufakazi uma ihanjiswa noma istorwa akukho ke ukuthi kutemporary ngayo.
Yebo kunjani phela.
That is correct. It is indeed so.
Thank you, Mr. Mtshali. Am I correct, sir, that prior to your elevation to being a commander in the SAP 13 and the level at which you are now, like all other members of the South African Police Services, you started down there taking statements from witnesses, and you also would sometimes give your own affidavits to explain out of your own understanding what had you seen, etc.
Ngabe nawe waqala lapho njengamanye amalunga ke njengoba wena usukhushiliwe ungucommander nje okanye ukule position okuyo namhlanje waqala khona laphana uthatha mhlamba ama statement aqhamuka ke kuzakhamuzi okanye abantu abazile laphana police station kanti ke egcineni nawe uyithole ubhala neaffidavit okuyiyona yakho ngabe nawe uqale lapho
Akusenzeka namanje angakuyeki.
It is still continuing. I haven't stopped doing that, even right now.
If kumele ngibhale statement ngivula docket SCSC ngiyalivula.
If I have to open a docket and provide a statement, I do that. I'll do that.
Thank you. Now, very briefly,
Kafuka nje.
would you explain how would you go about penning your own statements?
Ngokufingqiwe nje ungasho ukuthi mhlambe usitshela ukuthi wena inyathelo oyithathayo ukuze uwenze esakho statement uwenza kanjani ke yani inqubo yakho emayelana ke nokuthatha kwakho okanye kwenza kwakho statement uwenze njani
Ay umhlekazi akakachaze kahle mhlawumbe anginike scenario nyana ye case.
Can you please at least explain further or elaborate on that by perhaps even giving me a scenario of the case?
Thank you. As a head of the CSC, somebody brings in an exhibit
njengesikhulu sase-CSC khona umunye ke uletha i-exhibit la kuwena okanye ingxenye yobufakazi
which is in an evidence bag that is not properly sealed.
kanti ke leyo ngxenye yobufakazi exhibit ingaphakathi kwe-evidence bag engasilwanga kahle
Or the seal thereof has been tampered with.
kanti isili yakhona mhlambe ke yabanjwa wabona nawe ukuthi ike yabanjwa ke isili yakhona.
Now, your seniors, remember in your testimony you said you would even go to an extent of reporting this incident to the other lines, line seniors.
Uyakhumbula ukhulumile lokho ukuthi uzokwazi ukuthi uye nakwabanye ezinye izikhulu ke khona lapho uyo reporter ke into efana nalena.
Okay.
I guess it'll take a little kanje.
All right, let us
now I'm not finished.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm still trying to help you. And then now, the seniors say to you, can you please give us your own statement, meaning yourself, as to when did this exhibit arrive at your office, who was there, what did you note on it, and all those things?
Kanti ke isikulu sakho siyasho ke ukuthi ungakwazi yini ukuthi usinikeze esakhe statement mayelana ke nale evidence bag lena ukuthi isili kwenzakaleni ngayo wayithola nini i-evidence bag lena into enjalo.
Yes.
Usungaphendula ke manje.
Okay. Ake silungise nali iphutha la mhlekazi.
Let's try and correct an error here.
Ngizokhulumela nje amaphoyisa ukuthi esikhathini esiningi mawuya uyobopha umuntu.
I'll speak on behalf of the police members. Many a times when you go to arrest a person,
I'll be honest with you.
Now I'll be honest with you.
Uthola ukuthi mhlambe i-forensic bag ayikho evenini.
Now you would find that the forensic bag is not inside of the vehicle.
Thank you. And uma umthola umuntu umsearch.
And when you find a person and you search that person,
nasi spam.
Here's a firearm.
Iqiniso lehle ayikho into ozoyenza uzosithatha lesibhamu uze nomuntu uze police station.
The truth of the matter will remain. You will take the person and as well as the firearm and you proceed to the police station.
Mawufika ke police station uma ufika usuzovula idocket ke manje ufuna ukubopha lo muntu wemanje ngokuthi utholakale nesibhamu esingekho emthethweni.
When you get to the police station, you are now going to be opening a docket. You are arresting or incarcerating this person, that this person was found in possession of a firearm unlawfully.
Yes.
Then uzoqala ucompile ke I statement sakho as a arresting officer.
Now that is where you will start compiling your own or writing your own arresting statement or statement pertaining the arrest of this person as the arresting officer?
Thank you.
Uthe brief angithi mhlekazi.
Yeah.
You said brief, isn't it?
Mawusuqeda ke uzothatha kubhale ukuthi ngisemsebenzini isikhathi ukuthi ahamba endaweni eso wasesha umuntu wamthola emkhukhwini la ekhona uthe uma useshe position yakhe wathola isibhamu bese wawusuyamthatha wambuza ilicense ukuthi iphi wathola umuntu yahluleka ukukhulula ilicense ngenaked eye yakho ibonayo yabona ukuthi lesibhamu lesifayiliwe off then ke manje uyamthatha ke ubhala statement njalo then mawusuqedile ke ukubhala statement sakho ke before statement sakho uzosibhala manje uzoya ku relief commander manje uyocela i-forensic bag.
Now, you would, for an example, if I were to put the content or the structure of the content,
Yes.
you would write the date, the time, and then where you had gone to, and you found the person, and you were doing the searching. As you were searching this particular person, you then found a firearm, and then you asked the license from this person, and this person could not produce the license of the firearm. And then when you look with your naked eye, you realize or you saw that the serial number of the firearm was filed off, and from there you will have
Then
to go.
usuqedile ke ngestatement sakho but asikapheli kahle.
Now you are done with your statement.
Preliminary yaso.
That is
Lapha
just the
maybe
preliminary
paragraph
of
maybe
this.
paragraph awu4.
Now that could be more or less about 4 paragraphs.
Then mini paragraph
I'm sorry, Mr.
Let the witness go on, please. You invited that.
Oh, okay, go on.
Writing a statement. How is going
Mina-
about it?
Before ngizovala statement sami before ngizofika ko I know and what. Maybe paragraph yomi yokugcina ilapho esizoxoxa ke manje ngoba funeka ngize kwi13 bhuku ke manje ngizosifaka lesibhamu la kwi13.
Now, before I could close that particular statement,
Yes.
I know the contents and so. There is SAP 13
Yes.
that I need to consult with now.
Then ke manje sengiyothatha ke isibhamu manje exhibit.
No.
Sengiyayiregister ke kulama bhuku ki13.
Now, I'm going to take that firearm and now register it against the SAP 13.
Njoba ngichazile na izolo ukuthi i-SAP 13 le namakholoma awu6.
As I have explained yesterday, that the SAP 13 has got 6 columns.
Then ngizoyibhala ke yokuqala i-sequence number.
I will write the first one, would be the sequence number.
Okay, ngicela ukusho kubekunika uzokwazi.
Okay.
Be OB bese ngisikeze i13 number kusho ukuthi izodepend ukuthi le phezulu maku 100 elandelayo kumele i101.
Then it will be the
13
OB and then a 13 number. If the one above is 100, the next one will be 101.
Then ngiyabhala ke ukuthi Cleveland case possession bese ngiza ku 3 ngizobhala ama details esibhamu.
Yeah, now I will come to the second column. It is the Cleveland case, the case number. And then when I get to third column, it will now be the description or the particulars of the firearm itself.
Ukuthi Glock, R5, AK, even a serial number, ngizoisho serial number.
What type of a firearm that is. If there is a serial number, I will also say what serial number
If
that
ingeke
is.
serial number ngizomention futhi ukuthi it's been filed off.
If there is no serial number, I will also mention there in that block that it has been filed off.
Then ke now bese ngicela ke sengibhalile ke zonke izinto la bese ngithi u-relief commander o-sales commander sengicela ungiphe i-bag i-forensic bag.
Now I have jotted down in these columns, I will go to the relief commander and I will request from him or the service commander and say that, please give me a bag.
Lapha ku-3.1 yonke ama-item ahamba 111 isibhamu simentionwa sodwa is a 3.1 imagazini yamentionwa yodwa is 3.2 if kunenhlamvu ziyamentionwa zodwa if kunama-cartridge leyo nto leyo exhibit yakho yonke uyayimensiona la.
Now in that column, the third column, 3.1 for an example, you would say that you need to itemize all of these exhibits. A firearm, you itemize it, you say it's a firearm. Bullets, you say bullets. Magazine, you say bullets. And all, the magazine. And all of those, they have to come as exhibits.
And then you get from there bese uthatha ke ibag ke esuzifaka ebagini wonke lawo lezo zinto ozibhalile lapha
Now,
zingene ku-1.
all of those things that you have itemized or written down there in that column, you put them into the bag. All of those. into the bag.
I-forensic bag wonke ama-forensic bag anama-serial numbers.
Now, as far as the forensic bags are concerned, all of the forensic bags have got the serial numbers.
Lapha ku 3.1 ku 13 lapha masuqedile ku column 3 ekugcineni then ufuna ukusho ke manje ukuthi all the above items are being inserted afakwe la phakathi kule bag number so and so.
Now, on the SAP 13 register, you need to make mention of the fact that all the above mentioned items or all these items have been put inside of the evidence bag with a serial number so and so and so and so.
And then you bese uyayiseel.
Then you seal that evidence
And you
bag.
make sure that it's sealed.
And you make sure that it is sealed. When this thing says,
Yes. And then from there, mawukhumbuza ukuthi statement number singakapheli.
now remember that my statement was not yet done. From there, the next step, that communicates
Then
to
my
my
last
statement.
paragraph before le yokuvala
Now,
declare.
the content of the last paragraph before the last one that concludes the statement.
Then lapho sengizosho khona ukuthi ngathi isibhamu lesi ngisitholile ngisimentionile nani ngikufake ku forensic bag number so and so which is sealed ne case number so ne 13 number so and so.
Now, that is where I'm going to mention now and list all the items that I found, all those items that were recorded against another register, and as well as they were put inside of the evidence bag number so and so, and they were sealed, and there is also the SAP 13 number, and as well as the case number that is pertinent to those exhibits.
And again ndona mangiqeda lapho ke ngizobe sengithatha ke le exhibit bag ke manje nginikeza uCSC Relief Commander lapha sesiya ku column 4 ngifakala amagama ami ngisho nanokuthi itholakale kanjani lesi.
Now that evidence bag will be given to the relief commander at CSC. That is when I come to column number 4 and have to finish the requirements or comply with the requirements of column number 4 there.
Usho ke ukuthi indlela engisithole ngayo lapha u4.2 ukuthi ngisithole kuphi kanjani.
Now I will then explain where was this or rather under which circumstances was this found,
Then
and where was it found.
Ngibhale igama uma ine telephone number negama lomunikazi waso or umuntu engisithole kuyena uaccuse lapha nali if uyaziwa.
And also write the name, the telephone number of that particular person, or the names of the lawful owner, or the accused person, if it is indeed so that that person is known.
Then ku4.4 bese ngiyasayinda ke lapha ukuthi mina engifakele exhibit SSC.
Now in 4.4, or I comply with the requirements of 4.4 and indicate that I'm the one, I sign and indicate that I am the one that had signed there.
And then ke relief commander naye ke uzofaka isignature 4.5 or uCSC commander acknowledge ukuthi ulungele ke Captain Mtshali ngiyayithatha ke manje le exhibit yakho ngiyifaka eSafe.
The relief commander will also attach the signature acknowledging the receipt of this exhibit, indicating that I am now taking these items and I'm going to safekeep them in the safe.
Okunye nje ngizokucacisa njengoba induna ibuzile mase ngiyavale ukuthi ke
Now, I'm about to conclude now.
ayizukuhlala ke la ihlale ize iye safini after 30 minutes immediately mase senzele ukusignature saqeda umsebenzi we relief command sisi ukuthi alithathe likepisa ayovula isafe abeke lapha avale safe.
It is not going to lie there and accumulating dust. Not even 30 minutes will be lying there. The relief commander, after the paperwork has been filled correctly, he will take this particular item and go and lock it inside of the safe immediately.
Ay statement sami ke sengiqedile ke mina docket seyiregistiwe.
I have already finished my statement there, and now the docket is done.
Sengolindi IO ke mayingidinga ukuthi ngizofakaze court.
Now I will wait for the IO in case he needs me so that I can come and testify in court.
Njalo statement mhlekazi.
That is how the statement is, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Mtshali. When you interacted with Mr. Kininda and Mr. Mangena from the 20th of July 2020 to the 27th of July 2020, is it correct that you made a statement wherein you explained how you interacted with them?
mayelana ke nokuthi ube nokuxhumana okubakhona phakathi kwakho ke no Mangena ke no Gininda kusuka nge-20 zika July 2020 kufika nge-27 zika July 2020 ngabe kuyiqiniso ke ukuthi kwamele ukuthi okwafanele ukuthi wena uwenze i-statement esimayelana ke nokuxhumana kwakho kube khona phakathi kwalabantu ababini?
Yebo kunjalo.
Yes, it is so.
I'm going to show you a statement here. That's 163. Hey, 163. I'm going to show you a statement. Just want you just to confirm if that statement was made by you, it was made in your own handwriting, and the signature at the bottom there is yours.
Uqinisekisa ukuthi lesi statement senziwa nguwe sabhalwa nguwe nesignature evelela khona lapha phansi yakho leyo signature?
Yebo kunjalo nje.
It is indeed so, yes.
Okay, thank you, sir. You can take that statement back to my colleague.
Okay.
Now, this court has heard the testimony of Mr. Masondo, who was the investigator of the Cleveland case.
Le nkantolo isokuzwile ke ubufakazi buka Baba Masondo okuyena obephenya leli cala lase Cleveland. Case lase yase Cleveland here.
He told this court that the type of a firearm that he was investigating was a CZ 9mm.
Utshela inkantolo
A
ukuthi
CZ 75.
CZ 75.
Yes.
Utshele inkantolo ukuthi leso sibhamu ke esasixhumene leyo cala njengoba bephenya ke kanjalo wathola ukuthi leso sibhamu i CZ 75. Ilokho atshela inkantolo.
No, now that's just by way of a background. And on being questioned, he considered that there are so many firearms of this nature that were produced and they just look similar, just like the 9mm parabellum or the Z88 that is used by the police.
Manje ke ukushilo lokho ke uhlobo lwebhamu lolu la khiphuzwa luluningi kakhulu liyafana nje ne-9mm parabellum Z38 kanjalo.
Do you confirm that?
Uyaqinisekisa lokho?
Okwasho uMasondo.
From your experience,
Ukuya
that
nge-experience
there are so many CZ75 firearms that have been
ukuthi
produced.
lama CZ 75 maningi kakhulu akhiqizwe maningi.
Engingaba ngisebenza ngazo izibhamu ziyangena lapha emsebenzini. Yebo maningi impela.
Thank you.
Yes. Since I am working with a firearm there at my place of work, there are indeed a lot of those.
Thank you. And that is also confirmed by the fact that in Exhibit X, X2, Annexure A, if you can go there, Annexure A, the very first firearm that you put in the list of firearms that were destined for destruction, it's a CZ 9mm.
Uyakubona lokho ukuthi naso ke uyabona item 1 ethi CZ 9mm kwaku ezinye zezibhamu ke or esinye sezibhamu esayifanele ukuthi naso siyo destroy kunjalo?
Yebo kunjalo.
It is indeed so.
Then when you go to item number 9, it's also another CZ 9mm.
Masiya ku item number 9 sabona ukuthi na i CZ 9mm enye futhi kunjalo?
Yebo kunjalo.
It is indeed so.
Thank you. Now, furthermore, in cross-examination, Mr. Masondo also confirmed that the firearm that he was investigating was sent for ballistic science laboratory at the FSL, and at the laboratory they were able to identify its original number through an etching process.
Through
An etching process.
okay.
Through a process.
Umasonto.
Yes.
Ngophela ke uke wabuzwa imibuzo ke abameli lana uthi lesi sibhamu sahanjiswa sayiswa khona lapha eFSL kanti sithi masifika khona ke ngaleyo ngcuba seyishilo i-etching process kwakwazi ukuthi kutholakale inamba yakhona yaleso sibhamu.
Umasonto njalo.
Is that Masonto that is saying so?
Yes, it's Masonda.
Ngiyangumkhulumele ke Nkosi enkantolo.
Thank you.
If that is the case, I am not going to speak on behalf of Masonto.
And further on, he, under cross-examination, he said the owner of the firearm was traced, and it was discovered that the firearm actually belonged to a security company, Fidelity Security Company.
Uthi mnikazi wesibhamu ke bamthungatha bamthola ke bathola ukuthi lesi sibhamu kahle kahle ke isibhamu se-Fidelity Company.
Oh, it was registered.
Okanye kwaba isibhamu esiregistered ngaphansi kwe-Fidelity Security Company.
Yes.
Ngisho njalo kusho ukuthi uyazi akwenzayo yena.
If that is what he says, it means that he knows what he is doing.
Yes. So, briefly, what I want to bring to your attention is that the investigating officer who was entrusted with the investigation of that firearm that he was investigating in Cleveland case, through the etching process, the numbers were retrieved. The owner or the ownership of the firearm was also identified.
So ke ukuthi lona ke okuyena ke obenegunya lokuthi angaphenya lelicala uye wakwenza lokwathatha isibhamu wasisa kwe-ballistic ngayo leyo process ekuthiwa i-etching kwase kuba ke kutholakala ke inombolo yaleso sibhamu ke nomnikazi wesibhamu watholakala.
Hayi cha. Ngiyakuzwa lokukhathi ngikuzwa namhlanje.
Yes, I can hear that, and I'm only hearing it today.
Yes, that is his undisputed evidence. Now, very quickly, let's go to Annexure X2. Let's go to Annexure X2, but before we go there, let me ask you the following.
X2.
Is it correct that when an officer comes to the police station to request for a firearm for purposes of investigation, the custodian, that's now the person in whose possession the firearm is at the police station, who in this instance would be the gentleman that is, or the lady responsible for the SAP-13, he will also, or she will also have to countersign as an acknowledgement that this firearm has been handed out.
Ngabe kuyona inqubo ke leyo ukuthi nango phela iqala iIO uzothatha isibhamu khona lapha na SAP-13 lona oqaphe iSAP-13 ngaba ke ubaba noma umama ogade khona lapha uma lona esayinela ukuskipha naye ufanele ukuthi asayine uqinisekisa ke okanye ukusho ukuthi sakhishwa yena ekhona ufanele ukuthi asayine lo oqaphe iSAP-13 naye.
Okwenzekayo lana ke njengamanje.
No. Just before you tell me about okwenzekalayo, is that what is supposed to happen?
Futhi ufuna ukwazi ukuthi ngabe yilokho okufanele ukuthi kwenzeke na. Abanye amazwe ufuna ukwazi ukuthi yebo noma cha.
If isibhamu siyabuya or siyahamba.
Uthi isibhamu siyakhishwa. Iphoyisa liyafika. Lizosithatha. Lona ke okuyena obheke SAP-13. Ngabe naye ufanele ukuthi masiphuma leso sibhamu asayine naye phansi. Uqinisekisa ke ukuthi saphuma ngaphansi kwehlo lakhe ngamanye amazwi.
No ngoba lento yenzeka about dala 2015.
No, Mr.
Bekungenzeki ukuthi umuntu asayinele isibhamu yonke lo sebenze 13.
Bengenze na?
Masiphuma isibhamu awusayineli. ngalezi akhathi kodwa kuku implementiwe manje. It's a new implementation. And so there is a form, unfortunately there is a form by implementile national ukuthi manje this is the form okufuneka isetshenziswe where both of you need to sign. Now the handing over and the receiver and the handing back and the receiver.
Okay.
Now, this is happening only now.
Yes.
There is a form that has been implemented.
Yes.
It was issued by the head office.
Yes.
That whenever there's a person that comes to book out the firearm,
Yes.
that form must be filled in. Together, you and the person that is booking out must then sign. Even upon the return of the particular firearm,
Yes.
You and the person that is bringing back the firearm must also sign. But back in the years, that was not happening.
Okay.
It is only happening now.
The form by result is a temporary receipt form.
That form is called temporary receipt form.
You have told this court that on the 20th of July 2017, no, listen to me, Mr. Mtshali, listen to me.
Yes.
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 On the 20th of July, when Mr. Mangena came or when the person, you did not even know, actually you knew it was Mr. Mangena, but you did not know that he was forensic, he was a ballistic expert.
Yeah.
When he came to fetch the firearm, it was in your presence.
Uma eza ke ngoba ngaleso sikhathi uma ngena makeza ubungazi ukuthi lo mlisa lona okanye lo muntu lona ke uyi personnel yase forensic or ballistic uzile wazothatha ke lengxenye yobufakazi le exhibit wena ukhona uqobo lwakho.
Yebo kunjalo.
It isn't it so? Yes.
In other words, it is you who gave him the exhibit that he came to fetch.
Ngabanye amazwi wena ke wamnikeza leyo exhibit ebezile ukuthi azoyithatha.
Yebo.
Yes sir.
And that process of fetching of that exhibit by Mr. Mangena was also noted in the relevant register.
Ganti ke leyo nqubo yokuthi lona uma ngena eze azothatha leyo ngxenye yobufakazi yabhaleka phansi nayo kwi register.
Yebo.
Yes.
Mr. Mangena signed.
Uma ngena wasuya sign.
Yebo kunjalo.
It is indeed so.
As an acknowledgement of receipt of that item that it came to take.
Ngesiqinisekiso ke sokuthi uyitholile lento abezoyifuna khona lapha yana.
Yebo.
That is correct.
Did you sign?
When you were signed?
No.
No. I did not sign.
Why?
Ingani ungazange wasayina?
Ingoba ngizoyibeka nje kanje ukuthi wayengekho isignature yami la mawungabheka lama entry.
I'm not asking.
Why my signature is not there? If you have a look at the entries here.
Sorry.
Let the witness explain. Now you're stopping him.
Mr. Msia, I'm sorry.
Mr. Nisi, let the witness explain. He wants to explain.
No, but the question is coming from me.
Right, that's how he's answering it. The other day, you gave me some lecture on what a witness is not allowed to choose and choose. Now, this one selects or chooses to explain. Let him do so.
But my lord, the question is, I'm not asking this witness whether or not he signed on the register. There, I'm asking him whether he signed or not. And then he's saying the reason why my signature is not in the registers. That's not my question. My question is, you say you did not sign. And you're saying yes. Now my question is, why did you not sign? I'm not asking you, why is it so that your signature is not appearing on the registers? Do you understand my question?
I heard you clearly.
Yes.
Yeah, I heard you clearly.
Why did you not sign? Forget about the register. I will still come to the register. Why did you not sign?
Because angizange sayine ngoba wayesifaka futhi sikukhona umuntu ozosithatha ahambe naso same time. So sasihlalanga even 5 minutes leso sibhamu. under my care. Everything was done on a table.
Because it was booked in, and immediately, not even 5 minutes had passed after it was booked back. Then it was taken, and all the transaction happened on my table. So it didn't take more than 5 minutes under my watch.
Maybe you did not understand my question, Mr. Mtshali.
Mhlawumbe azange uzwe umbuzo wami.
Let me take it very slow.
Asithathe kancane ngonyawo lonwabo.
On the 20th of July 2020, when Mr. Mangena came to fetch the firearm.
Day 20 zika July 2020, uMangena Mageza ezothatha isibhamu, ezobhuka out isibhamu.
Did Mr. Mangena sign as an indication of the fact that I am now receiving this firearm, I'm taking it away?
Ubaba Mangena wasayina uqinisekisa ukuthi ngiyasithatha ke lesi sibhamu ngihamba ngaso. Ngabe kunjalo?
Eba kunjalo.
It is so, yes.
Thank you. Did you sign?
No.
No. Tika azange sign.
Why did you not sign?
Awusayinanga yini?
We didn't sign. We assign size balance item so and so is booked out to Pretoria by so and so, and the law muntu uyasayina ngoba uye manje in charge for that exhibit.
Normally we don't sign. We will only mention that item such and such or item so and so was taken by such and such a person, maybe booking it out, going to Pretoria. We don't, and that person is the one that signs. We don't sign.
Additionally, he lettered this temporary receipt which has been implemented now.
That is the reason why the National Office had introduced this temporary receipt form, which is being implemented now.
Because
they were trying to curb these errors that were taking place in the SAP 13.
So what you're saying is, when the firearm, as per your explanation, is booked out, the person who is booking out the firearm was not expected to sign. It was only the person who was receiving the firearm was expected to sign.
Okushoyo yilokho ke ukuthi lona oskiphayo isibhamu bengalindelekile kuyena ukuthi makasayina. Lona ke osithathayo uyena ke bekulindelekile kuyena ukuthi makasayine njengoba isithatha ke lesi sibhamu. Usho njalo. Bekusetshenzwa kanjani?
Hayi kesilungise.
Let's correct this.
Kesilungise nkosikaNtoni.
Your lordship.
Mina asikho isidingo sokubhuka out isibhamu ngisise FSL.
Now,
as an SAP 13.
Now, as an SAP 13 personnel, there is no need for me to can book out the firearm and take it to FSL or ballistic.
A responsible IO of that case, we okumele azosibhuka out from a storeroom. Yeah, usibhuka out usisapi either ballistic or further investigation.
Now, the responsible IO is the very person that will have to come and book it out, be it that he is taking it to ballistics or for further investigations. He is the same person that has to book it out. He is the very person that has to sign for it because it will remain in his possession.
So that
if it gets missing or it gets lost, he should be the person that is going to be asked about it. Now that is the reason why I shouldn't sign the booking out, because that would then entail it is now in my possession if I sign against the book out of that particular item.
Thank you.
What you have on?
Were you not even required to make a note in the register that such a firearm has been booked out or it was taken by, for instance, in this case, Mr. Mangena, for ballistic analysis?
Ubengalindela ukuthi wena ukwenza lokho ukuthi ingxenye enjena ke yobufakazi okanye exhibit yakhishwa okanye yabhukwa out ngumangena ukuze ayokwenza aqhubeke ayosiphenya lesi sibhamu. No.
No, bekungenzeki kanjalo esikhathini esidlule.
No, but previously that is not how the procedure was.
Thank you. Now, back to the statement that you made. If I were just to request that a copy of the statement be
I guess we will go to the statement osenzile.
Thank you. You had earlier on indicated that it's your statement and it's your signature and everything. I don't expect a policeman who makes his own statements to come and rebuke it and disown it. You understand? That would be very...
Angikulindeleke lokho ukuthi iphoyisa elizokwenza istatement esaso emva kwalokho ke ezila enkantolo abese ke uzokhuza ke okuqukethwe yilesi statement okanye ukusiphika leso statement.
Yes, to say no, that's not me who said that.
Ukusho ke ukuthi cha akusiyimini owasho lokho.
Thank you, Mr. Mtshali. My Lord, with the permission of the court, I'm going to request that at the end of it all, that this be handed in an exhibit. My colleagues will assist me as to what exhibit should this be, but briefly, this is what you state, Mr. Mtshali, in the statement.
Yes.
Lokho kushoyo ke kulesi statement sakho ngizocela ke ukuthi le ngxenye ke yobufakazi ingene okanye lesi statement singene njengengxenye yobufakazi la enkantolo.
I think you were given a copy, probably the photocopying machine had a problem, but down there it stated the 5th of August 2020. That is as I stretch my eyes.
Yes. That is correct, yes.
Thank you.
5 August 2020.
Now you are saying there, I'm going to read what you wrote. I'm an adult. I'm an adult male employed in the South African Police Service as a warrant officer.
Warrant officer.
Stationed at Cleveland, South African Police Services.
At Cleveland, South African Police Services.
Attached to this pole and perform duties as an exhibit commander with service number and a telephone number that is stated in the statement.
Exhibits.
Exhibit commander.
Exhibit commander. Only number
Now, in paragraph 2 thereof, you state that on Monday, the 27th of July, 2020, at about 14:45.
We are sure paragraph number 2 ukuthi ngomsombuluko nge-27 zika July 2020 ngabo 2:45 emini bebata.
I was on duty at my office.
Ganti bengisemsebenzini khona lapha e-office lami.
I was approached by Colonel Gininda from National Head Office Cold Case Unit.
Kwase kuza kimi ke uColonel Gininda owayecama khona lapha yana e-National Head Office Cold Case Unit.
Colonel Gininda asked me to book out exhibit SAP 13/86/2015 on Foslorus case 63610 of 2014.
Colonel Gininda ke wasuyangicela ukuthi mangimbukele out exhibit SAP 13/86/2015 yase Foslorus case number 636/10/2014.
The items were sealed in a forensic bag number PA 400-440-4332, which was containing a firearm and an empty magazine.
Ganti ke le ngxenye lezi ke zazifakwe ngaphakathi or leyo nto yayifaka ngaphakathi kwesil ivaliwe ethi ngisho kanjalo ke iyayivaliwe ngaphakathi okanye isiliwe ngaphakathi kwe-forensic bag number PA 400 4404 332 kanti ngaphakathi kwakhona ke isibhamu no magazine wawungenazo inhlamvu.
I can confirming, or I am confirming that the said exhibits were not tampered with while they were under my care.
Ngiyaqinisekisa ke ukuthi le ngcenyeke ezobufakazi okanye lama exhibit bewangazange abanje okanye abe tempered ngenkathi ke asaqashwe yimi.
Mr. Kininda was also provided with copies of SAP 13/86/2015 from the original SAP 13 registrar, which is kept in my office book, which is kept in my office. That is book number 3/2 in brackets 2014/2017, page 21.
Kanti uKenneth Kininda wase unikwa ke amakhophi we SAP 13/86 year 2015 uqhamuka kwi-original yayo i-SAP 13 lena ke kanti i-register yakhona okungukuthi igcinwa khona laphana e-office lami kanti i-book 03/02 ngaphakathi kuma-brackets ke wasubhala 2014 we are 2017 but page 21.
Now you conclude the statement by saying, I know and understand the content of this declaration. I have no objection to taking the prescribed oath, and you consider the prescribed oath to be binding on your conscience, and then you went to sign it and you put in your force number and the date on which you made the statement.
Kanti ke wase uyaqhubeka ngaleyo paragraph ukuthi ngiyazi futhi ngiyazwisisa ke okuqukethwe ilesi simemezelo kanti anginayo ke inkinga ukuthi ngathatha isifungo futhi ke ngiyazaloko ngikhumbula ukuthi isifungo sinamandla olawulo phezulu kwenembeza wami emva kwalokho ke wase ubhala khona lapha ufaka i-force number yakho wasayina wafaka ne-date khona lapha.
Do you understand your statement?
Uyazwisisa ke?
Yebo kunjalo.
Yes, it is indeed so.
Thank you. Do you confirm that also in your statement, which is a document that you had penned to try and explain what could have happened as you dealt with this firearm, you do not mention that on the 20th of July 2020, Mr. Mangena came in your presence to come and fetch the firearm in question for ballistic analysis?
Statement sakho khona ke okungaveleli kulesi statement sakho ukho konke okuqukethwe istatement akuveleli ukuthi uMangena weza nge-20 zika July 2020 ukuthi makaze azobhuka out lesi sibhamu kwenza azothatha lesi sibhamu. Uyakubona lokho?
Ngiyabona lokho.
Yes, I can see that.
Thank you.
Yes?
Kunombuzo lapho.
There is that a question or?
No, I'm only bringing it to your attention.
Oh, shooting ngiyaqaphelisa nje kuphela. Understood.
Thank you. And you are saying in your evidence in chief very emphatically again that exhibits which are under your custody, they don't get to be tampered with.
Usho kanjalo ke lobufakazi bokuqala uma umbuso ubuza imibuzo kanye ushushishe kubuza imibuzo ukuthi yabona ingxenye zobufakazi eziqatshwe nguwe hayi angeke ubone uyithole zingaqondile okanye ziye zabanjwa.
Is that not so?
Kunjalo.
It is indeed so.
And just to affirm that, you are saying it is because the keys to the strong room where the exhibit are kept by you.
Ukusho lokho ke uqhubeka uqinisekise ukuthi lokho ngeke kuze kwenzeke ngenxa yokuthi phela ke ikey zalapha yana kwi strong room zihlala kuwe.
Yebo kunjalo.
It isn't it so?
Thank you. I won't be long.
Ngeke ngibe mudeke.
Mr. Mangena, who the state will still call to come testify, has also made a statement explaining how he got possession of the firearm or the exhibit, which we know is a firearm, of course.
Mangena okunguthi umbuso uzokwazi ukuthi umbize ukuthi makeze ezothula ubufakazi la enkantolo naye usenzile sakhe statement sokusho ukuthi uthathe iziphi inyathelo wenze kanjani ukuthi egcineni ke athole lezi ngcenye zobufakazi.
And this is what he's going to say.
Lokho azokhuluma ke ilokho kulandelayo.
I'm going to read from an affidavit that he penned on the 12th of August 2020.
Ngizofunda kule affidavit ayenzile nge-12 zika August 2020.
If I'm not mistaken, it's just 5 days after you had penned yours.
Uma ngingaphosisi ke mhlambe insuku ezu5 emva kokuthi wena ke uwenze esakho istatement.
Now, very quickly, this is why he will come and tell this court, amongst others.
Abeges?
I'm saying very quickly, this is what Mr. Mangena will come and tell this court, amongst others.
Manje ke ngokusheshsha ke yilokho ke uBamangena azokhuluma kuzo zonke izinto ayikhulumile kulesi statement sakhe.
He says, or he will come and say, on Monday,
Uzosho ke lana athi ke ngomsombuluko
the 20th of July 2020,
nge-20 zika July 2020
in the performance of his duties,
uthi ke lokwenza umsebenzi wakhe
he booked out an exhibit, a firearm and ammunition at Cleveland SAPS, as per Cleveland case number 9602.
usho njalo uthi ke ngase ngikhipha 02
2015.
okay uthi ke ngase ngiyobhuka out i-exhibit okanye kuyisibhamu nenhlamvu zakhona khona laphana eCleveland SAPS ukuya ngale Cleveland case number 96/02/2015
from SAP 1386 of 2015.
okuphuma kuyo iSAP 1386 ya 2015.
The said exhibits, now that is what Mr. Mangena will come tell this court. The said exhibits were received in an open evidence bag with number PA 400 4000-810885.
Ilokho akushoyo ke uthi lama exhibit okukhulunywa ngawo khona lapha na ke atholakala ngaphakathi kwe evidence bag evuliwe iyena leyo number lo ke iPA 4000-810885
and were booked out for further examination purposes as per Mshololo's case 636/10 of 2014.
kanti ke zabhukwa out ukuya ke ngophenyo oluchubekayo kule ya case yase Mshololo's case number 636/10/2014.
Thank you, sir.
Sabon.
Now, in essence, Mr. Mangena would come to this court that indeed on the 20th, he went to Cleveland Police Station and booked out these exhibits, but when he booked them out, these exhibits were contained in an open evidence bag.
Uzoza ke aqinisekise lo Mangena ukuthi uyile khona lapha eCleveland Police Station kanti uthi makafika khona ke nge-20 zika July 2020 ayo booker out ingxenye zobufakazi uthe ke makafika khona lezo ingxenye zobufakazi zazingaphakathi kwe-evidence bag eyayingavaliwe.
And that is in short what he will come and tell this court amongst others.
Ngafuphe lokho azokusho lana enkantolo.
Is it correct, sir, that in your statement that we had dealt with earlier on, you do not mention that Mr. Mangena came on the 20th of July 2020 to come and book out these items that he says, to put them out?
Ngabe kuyiqiniso ke ukuthi estatementini sakho awuzange ukusho lokho ukuthi nge-20 zika July 2020 ubaba Mangena weza ezokhipha ke okanye ezobhuka akhiphe isibhamu khona laphayana SAP30 awukushongo lokho.
Statement sami lesi ntwana.
Are you referring to that statement? Yeah, no, I didn't say it. Yes, indeed, I didn't say that.
Is it further correct, sir, that on the very same statement, you do not mention that the bag that contained the exhibits that Mr. Mangena came to fetch on the 20th of July 2020 was not sealed?
Ngabe kuyiqiniso ke ukuthi na kwi-statement sakho futhi okwesibini ukuthi awuzange kusho ukuthi le exhibit bag lena eyayifake ingxenye zobufakazi uMangena bezoyilanda ibingavaliwe okanye ibingasilwanga awukushongo lokho kwi-statement sakho.
Angikushongo phela.
Indeed so, I didn't say it.
Thank you. And is it correct that in your evidence, I'm sorry, just before we get there, is it also correct that as you have listened to what I put to you as what would Mr. Mangena would come and say, that Mr. Mangena does not mention the fact that he received these exhibits on the 20th of July 2020 from warrant officer, as you were then, Mtshali?
Yes,
uyaqinisekisa ukuthi akakusho lokho ukuthi lezi zinto wayithola kuwe warrant officer Mtshali ngaleso sikhathi akusho ku warrant officer Mtshali. Yes, I agree. He doesn't mention that.
Akashongo.
He didn't say it.
Thank you, sir. I said to you, I won't be long.
Ngithe kuwe angizoba mude.
Do you remember at the inception of our engagement, that is now me and you, in cross-examination, you said the reason why you were so emphatical and you were so strict about the fact that exhibits that are brought to your attention should always be contained in sealed exhibit bags, not so?
Uyakhumbula ke waqinisekisa nje ubulumise nje amazinyo akho kanjalo ukuthi hayi ama exhibit alethwa la kuwena afanele ukuthi abe sewasiliwe alethwe kuwe asiliwe.
Yebo kunjalo.
It is indeed so, yes.
Is it further correct that in that initial engagement you agreed to the fact that the purpose of a seal or of a sealed bag is to ensure that evidence is not being contaminated or altered in transportation and or storage?
Wase uyaqinisekisa futhi ukwenza isiqiniseko sokuthi ama exhibit alethwa ngebheki evaleke ngci uqinisekisa ke ukuthi akhuselekile ukuthi mhlambe mawahanjiswa nanoma abekwa njalo ukuthi avikelekile ngaleyo ndlela.
Kunjalo phela.
It is indeed so, yes.
Thank you. Let me bring a very light moment. Now, is it then not so that on the basis of these immediate factual metrics, there exists a likelihood that the firearm that Mr. Mangena received on the 20th of July 2020 could not have been or might not have been the original firearm that was brought to Cleveland Police Station by Mr. Masondo. If you have got an answer to this, you can say, I'm Nisimin, I don't want to commit myself. Or you can just answer if you want.
No comment.
Yes.
No comment.
Uthi cha ngeke ngiyiphendule leyo nto leyo ukuthi lesi sibhamu esalethwa kunokwenzeka ukuthi akusisona esalethwa phambilini. Futhi ke nge-20 zika July 2020 kunokwenzeka ke umangene mageza ezothatha isibhamu bekungesona ke isibhamu lesokuqala uthi cha angifuni ukuphawula ke khona lapho.
Yes. On the 27th of July 2020, you did your best that you could do under the circumstances when they brought back this firearm from Forensic Science Laboratory. However, nobody would know that it was the original firearm that was put in by Mr. Masondo. Not so. We don't have a comment as well.
No comment.
You know the mannerism here. There is no comment.
Yes.
Usho njalo ke uthi udaba uyalazi angeke ngize ngiphawule khona lapho ukuthi lesi sibhamu nge-27 zika July 2020 masilethwa siqhamuka khona lapha yana FSL kunokwenzeka ke ukuthi bengabe kulethwe isibhamu okungesona uthi hayi lapho ke angiphawuli.
Thank you, sir.
Can I say something?
No. Thank you, sir. From me to you, the very best we can. Thank you, my lord.
That wraps up today's video on the Senzo Meyiwa trial. Stay tuned for more updates on this high-profile murder trial by subscribing to our channel, hitting the bell button, and sharing this video. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.